Trauma affects everyone differently. Let's chit chat.
Let's talk about Alyssa Milano for a second here. Yeah. This is just orange juice. But I thought it'd be fancy, like in a little wine glass. Anyways, Alyssa Milano. She's getting some heat because she talked about when she was giving birth, how it was a traumatic experience for her. Now, she didn't say that her whole childbirth was traumatic. She spoke about how a moment flashed through where she felt some past trauma happened. Now, let me tell you something. I, in my past, was sexually assaulted. And you know, if you have been sexually assaulted or if you have any trauma or abuse, you could be walking down a store, you could be in your car listening to a song that makes you happy, and all of a sudden, boom, the trauma comes to your mind for a fleeting second, and you're like, oh, whoa, where did that come from? And I believe that's what happened with Alyssa Milano. She said that during her childbirth that everything was so invasive that people were in your face, and she said for a moment, she's like, whoa, where did this trauma come from? How come I felt this for just a moment? And she said, I didn't understand where it came from. And she mentioned even further that it came from her experience when she was traumatized from a sexual assault. A lot of people are like saying, oh, she's crazy, she needs medication, she needs all of this. Let me tell you something, okay? You can have the best medication in the world. It's not going to cover your trauma. It helps you cope, but it won't take care of the trauma. And even if you do go through these things, it doesn't take it away. It's still going to live with you, but we learn as people who are survivors that we learn how to live with this. And what was very damaging to me when I was seeing other TikToks, people who were saying they were sexually assaulted and that they were survivors, and still diminishing her story. That's not okay. We respect stories. We respect people's trauma because everyone goes through their trauma differently. Now, this was not her whole experience of her birth. It was just a moment that it came through her mind, or like a flashback that happened. But we have to respect that. It doesn't mean that she's crazy. It doesn't mean that she had a wrong thought. It means that she's human. We're all human and we all have trauma. Listen, I was in my car listening to the soundtrack of The Greatest Show, and a trauma hit me, and I was like, whoa, where did that come from? It happens to all of us. But for other people who were sexually assaulted to say, oh, that's just crazy. Like, oh, you need medication. That's wrong. Her trauma is her trauma.